footsteps, we began to climb.
Near or far, we have reached across summer.
Maloka, Mercedes, Bahamas and Versailles. From our halls we walk their aisles.
Achievements and awards now we prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seeds of innovation will build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University.
Summer State University.
So come on, Summer State University. May naada ka mga langit pagdayaw mo. Ani mong aral, ikanhi mo haamon. Ani mo ginhalian, ipasubok. Ani mo kaburuton, dinhi haturang, sugat man halangin. Dagang kaniya, hantaran mo naman ay ginaadlaw. Pagod mo ang hamon, mga sala. Sugadhan pagwara, hanamon, hanakasala. Bayaan, masitirigli, pagdagon, ang mga panulay, kundi awi agami, ang mga kanan.
Just start writing no matter what, Dr. Lavrigas said on the first session of the webinar. I believe we have all been inspired last Wednesday to write because our works will have a great impact in the society. This afternoon, our pursuit to ignite and reignite the researcher's heart within us will continue. Good afternoon. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's website. Today is our second day for the webinar series. My name is Jessica Coma, and I will be your moderator for the second day of the webinar series. I'm excited to be hosting this session today. Now, I will ask you one question to check if you can see and hear as well. Do you hear me well? Kindly type yes and send it to our chat box. Thank you so much for your responses. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into the question box in your Zoom control panel. I'll bring them up during the presentation and we will also have the time for questions at the end. Second, today's webinar will be available on demand after the live session in YouTube, in our Countryside Development RJ account, and in our SSU official Facebook page. Next, we'd like to encourage you to share today's webinar with your social networks. You can post this webinar directly on your Facebook accounts. Lastly, the links of the Google Forms for attendance, session evaluation, quiz, and the activities that will be given by our speaker for today will be sent to our chat box. Now, I believe we can begin. Our session two is on making a research take home message and developing a research storyline. All our participants here are present for one reason, I believe. And before we start, we would like you to have our attendance for today in our chat box. So, our moderator will be sending the link right now, and you may click that later. Okay, kindly check your chat box if it's already sent. All right, so you may click that later. Let's proceed. To give the recap and the report and evaluation results is the managing director of the CDRJ and JAR. Let us all welcome Dr. Marife M. Lacaba.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Marilyn Cardoso. Welcome the webinar participants through the glimpse of Summer State University. As one of the universities in Region A and in the country that started to characterize research as scientific outputs that embodies the community's needs. Dr. Ronald Morales provided an overview of the entire webinar with few reminders of the webinar protocol. Dr. Leo Labdage, Editor-in-Chief of the Countryside Development Research Journal, inspired us with his various challenges, experiences when he was not yet one of the most cited authors in his field. He said that it is okay if our papers be published in not so popular journals because the most significant thing is that we start writing and engaging the publication because a better because the most significant thing is that we start writing and engaging the publication because a better opportunity. We start writing and engaging. At the end of the session, we've learned that as part of the webinar, we need to be a multiplier of potential researches and aim to be more than with our neighboring countries contributed in the growth of ideas and familiarity. For the evaluation of session one, majority of the participants rated the webinar components with 5 points, as shown in the following slide. We are currently on Zoom to minimize the previously encountered problem in session one. The webinar secretariat is very much happy that majority of the participants find the previous session relevant, informative, and very inspiring.
Thank you so much, Dr. Marife M. Lacaba, Managing Director of CDRJ and JAR. Before we continue, may I remind you to please change your names. Please follow our pattern, school or affiliation first, and then dash, then name. Again, kindly change your names right now. Please key in there your school affiliation, then dash, and your name. Thank you so much. This time, ladies and gentlemen, the speaker will be introduced by the Executive Director for Research. Dr. Sherry Ann Lapid. However, she is not yet here in our Zoom, and so I will just be introducing to you our speaker. Our speaker this afternoon is the Vice President for Research and Extension Services. He is a Professor 6 in Summer State University. He has degrees in Doctor of Philosophy, major in Technology Management, and Masters of Engineering in Civil Engineering. He has presented about 50 papers in various regional, national, and international forums. He has registered and published utility model and patents, respectively. He has published more than 25 researches in various topics in civil engineering, education management, as well as mathematics and engineering education. He has 73 citations and a Google Scholar H index of 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ronald L. Orale.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello, can you see my screen?
Good afternoon, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay. To the President of Summer State University, Dr. Marilyn Cardoso, good afternoon. To our participants this afternoon, maupay nga kulupay nga tanan. Special greetings to Dr. Labrage, who is also around. Thank you for coming again. He is our editor-in-chief of CDRJ, and also to Dr. Abadjano. Welcome also to the webinar. Thank you also for coming. And to everyone who are around now, salamatan pagkadi. This is the second session. And so I would like to ask, no, I shared a while ago, I requested to share a while ago the link so that I could measure and I could level off what kind of participant I have now. Bangin ka mo, baka mas magaling kayo sa akin. So I've asked you, I hope everyone has already answered the question, but I would like also to ask you, I mean, there's a link I would like to show you. Okay. Okay, this one. Just to level off, I would like to know who are my participants today. If you have written a thesis, or if you have had a dissertation already, or if you have published anything, specifically with ISI, Scopus, and other journals, or maybe you just have any data available there, or you have access to a certain data, so that we can, I can relate my discussion to you. Okay. Wait. Okay. I'll check how many. I'll give you about 2 minutes to respond to it. Those who are around, kindly fill up the form. It's just a 1-question form for me to measure where we are. Okay. Sige. I will wait for a minute. Please respond to the survey. I would like to know the kind of participant I have now. Okay. So I have here the results so far. So there are about 4 who are able to publish already, but more than half or more than 70% have not published yet. But there I only have 14% or 14 has responded so far to the survey. Anyway, so let me proceed. Okay, so this is the outline of my presentation today. I hope you can hear me loud. I am not sure. I am in a location where the signal is not very stable. Anyway, please just inform me if ever I cannot be heard or there's problem on the audio and the visual presentation. Okay, so this is the outline that I'm going to have. I will be having several questions and I will be asking you to participate in the forms that I'm going to share. No? So if I give you a link, please help me get your feedback and then your responses, so that we can discuss better about these things or about what I'd like to share to you. Okay, so and then we will be looking into popular research articles in 2018. I was trying to look for the 2019, but I failed to access the database. Okay, and we will discuss about the research report, how it is structured, and where the story comes into the picture. Okay, and then I will be asking you about your in the invitation. There were what's this? There were I mean information shared to you that it's better. I mean, I encouraging you to bring with you or have with you your thesis or dissertation, so we can play around with what you have there and then come up with the take-home message perhaps, and then the storyline for your research paper. Okay, and then we are going to discuss some key elements of a good story. And then at the end, we'll have a short workshop on developing a simple outline for your research article, specifically in the introduction aspect of or introduction part of your paper. Okay, so I asked you a while ago to have this and some. Okay, so I asked you a while ago this one, and I found out that there were some already who were able to publish, and perhaps there are not much things that I hope I will be able to provide you additional information about writing. Of course, the fact that you have already published an article specifically in an ISI journal, that means you are even far better than me. No? So I would ask you also later on to help me explain the importance of the introduction and the parts of the introduction when you write some. No? So I will be asking from those who have experiences in writing in ISI journals, what are the reviewers looking into when it comes to the introduction part of the research article. Okay, so again, another request from the participant. I hope you can join me in you can participate in the question. Okay, please answer or response to this question. Why is it that we need to publish? There were discussions in the first session about the need. I would like also to get your input again. Perhaps some who are attending now are new in the conference or in the seminar. I would like to ask you, why do we need to publish? What are the things or what are the reasons why we need to publish? Except for the common reasons like to improve my research or scientific profile, to help improve the reputation of my university, and what else? What other things or what other reasons why we need to publish? Okay, so you visit the menti.com, www.menti.com, use the code 411718, and we'll see what will be your responses to it. Okay, so I'll give you 2 minutes perhaps.
Excuse me, Dr. Urale, there are comments here saying that the code cannot be found. Once again, excuse me, Dr. Urale. We would like to inform you of the comments here from our participants. They said that the code cannot be found.
Okay, I think I need to present this so that it will be activated. Okay. Yeah. So it's 4117, right? It's 411787.
All right. So again, let's check 411787. For all our participants, kindly retry. Let's have our code 411787.
Found it? Not yet. No one?
We would like to request all our other participants to please to please mute your mic while we are having the activity. Thank you.
Click the button to participate.
Okay. I think there are. I'm not receiving any. Oh. Okay. So we'll just proceed. Oh, I have one.
Sir, there are comments here on our group chat. They say that they are not sure where they're going to put their answers because there is no space for answers. Sir?
I have already one response. Two. There are already two, so that means they were able to provide me answer. Right. The answers that I have received to add scientific data. Okay. Oh no, what happened? I lost it. Okay, basically. So why I ask you, okay, can you see the screen now? Why I ask you is because I would like to connect how important is the laying of the grounds of your paper to entice reader. Okay, so the usual reasons that we have is to improve my research and scientific profile. I have hundreds of publication, and half of that is in ISI. I have this much number of citations, so it's more of ourself, right? And then because I have a lot of publication, I have a lot of citation, then my university benefit from it. No? However, if you are going to look into the primary purpose, why do we need to publish? Some actually answered it because I would like to share my knowledge to everyone. No? But the bottom line actually is to improve, to generate new knowledge in the academic institution, let's say in the Philippines or here and around the world. The this is one major criterion on the reputation of the university, because primarily universities are expected to advance knowledge, advance technology, no? Share this information to everyone so that this could be used in improving socio-economic conditions of the people. Okay, so through researches, we basically improve people's life. Okay, so in that case, if ever we have a research, the primary purpose there now is for this research to be read by as many people as possible. Okay, sometimes there is a disconnect in the reasons why we publish. Okay, a while ago I said to improve my scientific profile, and if I have a very good scientific profile or research profile, then if I'm a member of the academy, then most likely I'm going to be promoted. No? So for those who have been early in the Philippines, for those who have been early in research and in publication, you would see them often able to acquire better position today than other professionals who did not participate in the research. I can name myself as one. No, good thing, because I started when there are few people doing it. Okay, but if you're going to look into the more ano tawag nito, humane or noble purpose of publishing a research is for it to be read by people, and in the process, your report will influence them to do good. No, for example, if you're doing a research that will affect socio-economic condition, perhaps the local government unit, for example, if they will be able to read it, will think twice on their plans and programs, and therefore affect the kind of services that they offer. No, and so on and so forth. There are there are a lot of number or a lot of reason that intends to help the community, that intends to help the humanity. Later, I will be showing you some of the reasons why other researchers or other research are widely read and others are not. Okay, so I will have again another question to you. So if okay, have you read any research recently? May nabasa na ba kayong research in the last week or so, or let's say in the last month? May nabasa na ba kayong research na binasa nyo from the title up to the conclusion or even up to the references? Or may nabasa kayong research pero title lang ang nabasa mo, tapos hindi mo na binasa lahat? Okay? Or perhaps just the title and then the abstract and then did not continue reading it. Okay? Or have you read the entire paper from cover to cover? No? Mayroon ba kayong ginawang ganon? No? So it's an interesting question, because there are findings that mas maraming nagbabasa ng mga kung ano-ano lang, especially sa Facebook, for example, or any publication. Mas maraming nagbabasa doon sa mga tabloid na type of writing more than sa research. So in effect, we are basically tawag nito, parang wasting our effort in writing carefully crafted research articles, and very few people read it. No? So minsan, when we write, especially for the academics, especially for those who are in the higher education institution, in the university, sometimes we are very much into the technicalities of the paper more than the message that it would like to convey. There's no bad thing on that. Okay, but the problem is, if we are writing in that manner, we actually are not encouraging people ordinary people to read about it. And instead, they go into tabloid, they go into the newspaper and read anything about it and then believe on it. While you have here in authoritative paper, for example, carefully research information, but people are not reading it. Parang sayang, di ba? I can relate to that because I have been writing papers focusing on the local scene, no? Studying reasons of flooding, for example, or what could be the effect of certain project to the community. But sadly, there are very few people reading it. Okay? Maybe it's because the story is very technical and they could not understand that. Or maybe our community is not just into reading this kind of articles. They're more likely to read about gossips, about chismes, no, about something about people, but not necessarily about these things. And that's the major uh, publication or research publication, scientific publication, basically is defeated in that aspect, in that process. So that means it is very, very important that we write something that people are going to read, not just because we would like to improve our scientific profile or our university reputation, but more of writing something that will not only improve yourself, your institution, but at the same time improve the community. Okay, so can you recall something that you like the most? Like for example, a very beautiful movie. Paano naging maganda yung isang movie? Or bakit tumatangkilik tayo sa soap opera? Okay? Or bakit may mga libro na hindi natin, or novel for example, na hindi natin pwedeng, hindi natin maiiwanan hanggang hindi siya natatapos? Okay? Or may isang research na ang ganda-ganda niya, gusto ko siyang basahin. Basahin ng basahin hanggang maintindihan ko, no? So these are things that will, I mean, these are realities that will have to will tell us to rethink the way we write. Because sometimes even myself, when I write or when I read research, for example, there are some research that are very, very technical that I could not get what you mean. Sometimes the statistics are very, very elaborate or very, very very beautiful or very great or very good, no? Very scientific, very mathematical, but at the end of the day, I did not, or I could not capture what do you want to tell me. Okay, there are also some researches that are very simple, descriptive to at that, but they became very popular. No, but why it is popular and why you have very good researches that are not popular, no? So we may look at it that way as well. Okay, so listen, I've looked into the internet and then checked based on reviews what are the most watched movie, for example, and I found out it's Avengers Endgame. And most watch what is this or novel, I mean, most read novel, it's the 50 Shades of Grey, for example. And soap opera, still Provinciano, receiving the highest audience share. And science as the most read journal. Okay, what makes them very popular and what makes them very good versus the others? Okay, so these are examples of scientific papers that are rated to be most among the most popular in 2018. Okay, number Altmetric top 100 listed several researches, and if you are going to look into it, the last top 5 no, or the top 5. I mean, not last, but the first 5 are this, no. So take a look at the research and then the message that it would like to convey, no. So sometimes the research are not very what is this, parang hindi ganon ka bago, but why it became popular is another thing, no? For example here, number 5, association between physical and mental health in 1.2 million individuals in the USA between 2011 and 2015, a cross-sectional study that is published in the Lancet Psychiatry. Take a look at even at the title, no? Ang haba niya, di ba? Diba? So sometimes in writing, we might be tawag nito, boxed to the ideals of writing. Pero ngayon masyado na siyang naka, I mean, not in the box in a sense, no? There are a lot of protocols that are previously a no-no that is acceptable today. So if you're going to look at the title is very long, but it landed number 5 in the Altimetric Top 100. Okay? Ano ba yung hinanap nila dito? They look into 1.2 million people in the US and yielded same new insight into the new link between staying physically active and lessening the mental health burden. Something that's not exactly groundbreaking, pero important. Take a look at that. No? So, hindi siya ganun ka bigatin in terms of discovery or discovering something or discovering new knowledge, but what is important, I mean, what is one major reason here why baka siya naging number 1 is because it's important, no? So the take-home message, ganun lang ka-simply, any amount of exercise can make you happier. Okay? So take a look for, okay, trajectories of the Earth system in the Anthropocene, pasensya sa wrong maling pagbasa. Okay, so ipinablish ito sa Proceedings of the National Academy of Science of the United States of America. Okay, so this is just this is the only one climate study that has landed to the top 10. No, so kung titingnan natin mamaya, the researches that were published are not that very science-based. I mean, the hard science, what I mean, it's more of the human part, the effect to people, something like that. Okay, so ano ba yung information or take-home message na gustong ipabatid nung publication? Psychology of denial has biased IPCC climate reports, research summary, policy decisions, and public discourse. Kindly take a look into the messages that it's trying to share, no? And then later on, himayin natin bakit naging sikat ang mga paper na ito. Okay, so yung number 3, it's alcohol use burden for 195 countries and territories 1990 to 2016, a systematic analysis for the Global Burden Disease Study 2016. At nai-publish ito sa The Lancet. Okay? So yung take-home message niya is alcohol is the leading cause of harm worldwide for people aged between 15 and 49. Okay? So global study siya na lumabas na yung alcohol is the leading cause of harm for people aged 15 and 49. Again, I would like to emphasize the simplicity of the message that it like to convey. Okay. And number 2, the spread of true and false news online at pinablish siya sa The Science, or Science, I mean. Okay. Early this year, we finally had evidence for something we already suspected. Social media, in this case Twitter, is spreading falsities faster than truths and with a broader reach to boot. Worst of all, this is not happening due to the infamous boots as much as we'd like for those but to be the case in order to preserve a shared of faith in humanity. So in short, parang napasinungalingan niya na the false news or the fake news spreads not because of robots na naka-embed sa mga websites or in this case sa Twitter, tapos nag-automatic siya sharing. Okay? So lumalabas na nag-spread yung lie because people are spreading it. It's not robots or it's not the computer software or it's not computer glitch, something like that, but it's because there are people doing it. Okay? So, tingnan mo again, kindly check again on the message. Bakit siya nag-number 2? Okay? So, kanina, bakit ito nag-number 3? Ito, bakit ito nag-number 4? Or ito, bakit ito nag-number 5? Okay? So, let's try to look into number 1. Ano ba yung number 1? Okay, number 1. Mortality in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Na-publish siya sa New England Journal of Medicine. Ano ba yung nakasulat? Okay. In September 2017, a hurricane laid waste to Puerto Rico. And the damage was plain to see. So nakikita yung damage. But the death toll was not due to inadequate the death toll was not. It's basically because of the inadequate government data. So walang data na na-produce yung government. So parang maliit lang yung pinablish. Pero using a new survey revealed na mayroong 70 times than the published report yung posibleng namatay. Okay, can you recall the Yolanda time, the number of deaths, and then what it was believed to be the actual number of deaths, something like that? So it's more likely similar to that. Okay, though it's not the research that triggered the revision of official death toll, the number was raised from 64 to 2975. So in a way, parang napatunayan na totoo ang sinabi ng researcher. Okay? The household-based survey suggests that death toll is 70 times the official estimate. Okay? So it's not even just 70. Okay? It's from 64 to 2975. Malaki masyado yun. Okay. So if you're going to look at that, this is the paper that I have shown you, or the questions that I have shown you a while ago, mayroong gusto kong itanong sa inyo again. Okay? So kindly go to menti.com and then use the code 393285. Okay? Okay, and then
Yes.
respond again. Okay? Give you 5 minutes to do that.
Once again, please type your responses via www.menti.com and use the code 393285.
We are really sorry for the delay because right now we are experiencing blackout here in the university. So please wait until we reconnect to the internet connection. Thank you. While we are waiting until the power is back, I would like you to ask your questions and key that into our chat box. While we are waiting to have our power back here, let's have your questions keyed in on our chat box. Thank you.
to all our participants, we would like to inform you that our power is back and that we are going to send right now the link for our attendance in your chat box. Kindly check because we are now going to send the link of your attendance, and please fill that out. And we are going to start again for a minute or two. While we are waiting for the speaker to reconnect, once again, we would like to inform you that we have 7 sessions for this webinar on writing and packaging research articles for journal publication. Please take note of these following dates. On June 22, 2020, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have a topic on writing a research introduction and objectives. As such, we would like to remind all our participants to please prepare your files of your introduction and objectives as requested by this speaker on Monday. Once again, we would like to request all the participants to please prepare your files of your research introduction and objectives because you will be using that on Monday. On June 24, that is on Wednesday next week, the topic will be on writing a research methodology. On June 26, that will be on Friday, Next week, the topic is on choosing data and writing the results. And on June 29, we will be having the topic writing abstract and submitting to publication. And for our last session, which is on July 1, we will be having the topic revisiting formats of journal article for publication. Once again, we would like to remind everyone that you will be able to claim your certificate once you finish all the sessions.
Hello, I'm back. Pasensya. Hello.
Sir, acknowledged.
Okay. So I'm very, very sorry for that major glitch. It's part of technology flows. Okay.
Out the slide.
And we are very, very dependent on electricity. And that's a reality in the provinces. And I don't know if it's the entire Philippines, but in our case, it is common and we have no control over it. And we are very sorry for that. Okay, I am looking into the responses through the Minty. And the first response that I have received is about it to be common. Another is common sense, and maybe common sense, but why is it that when we write, we are not writing the common? Okay, so that does mean that we think it is common, but we are not doing it. So that means it's not common. No, or knowing that it is common and we are not doing it, that there's something wrong in the process. Okay, there are some here addresses issues. Timely. Okay, I would like to share the Minty. Where's the Minty here? Okay, so here, can you see that? It's current issue. It talks about human life, interest to the reader or interest of the reader. So that means it's we are going to look into what makes a paper very interesting to many. That perhaps is the reason why in the citation count there are more citation in the social sciences area than citations in the engineering area, and that's actually even the reason why in counting points or in counting performance or in counting what is this reputation of an institution, there is what we call normalizing the data, no? Because you cannot really compare the number of citation in a science or in a hard science and then soft science, something like that, because there are more people reading researches about people, because number one, there are more researchers in this area than in the engineering sciences that side. Perhaps that's also the reason why these papers that rank in the top 10, for example, are directly affecting more people and directly targeting readers in this area. Okay, so I don't know if it is extraordinary, because in one analysis or in one if you are going to look into the topic being presented, these are not extraordinary, right? I mean, these are not highly specific or hard science or discovery type, no? Specialization of the writer, maybe, because if it is your field, you can write better because you know the area. Okay, What else? There I have read here about who writes, no, the authority or the renowned authors. Okay, but sometimes there are if you're going to compare the England journal versus the science journal, why is it that the uh, the paper in the England journal outperform that of the science journal? Okay, so maybe there is a portion of it of being a renowned author. Number one is because it talks about reputation. Who writes it? Can we believe him or her? No. So who published it? From what university? Who published it? What's the background of the writer? Later on, I'm going to show you a good example in that area. No. Recency, yes, very important. So there is a need for us to publish literature or journals that have happened recently, or else it's going to be obsolete and nobody would be interested about it anymore, or fewer readers would be very interested in it, unless there are some revealing information that up to date today is very relevant. Okay, and so on and so forth. So what you have shared captured are what people likes in a research paper. So that means, given that information, it already guides you what kind of paper you're going to write. Okay. One thing though that I have not seen in the responses is the I don't know if I have not just read, the newness, the novelty of the information being shared. Ano bang bago? Okay? Ano ba yung sinasabi mo? Ano ba yung bago doon na hindi ko pa alam? Okay? So, start looking into your thesis, what you have write so far, or what you have conducted, yourself or your friend, for example. Pakibasa. Ano ba yung nandoon sa thesis mo? Ano ba yung nandoon sa dissertation mo? Ano ba yung nandoon sa data mo na kakagatin, okay, or babasahin ng mga tao? Okay? So ang newness ng information. So ibig sabihin, if you will be writing about something that is already known, like for example, nakakaapekto ba yung pagiging may pera sa pag-aaral? Di ba? Kailangan pa bang tanungin yun? Something like that. Okay. There have been a lot of journals or papers or thesis and dissertation telling us about that. Or ano bang klaseng leadership ang kailangan para sa isang organisasyon? Di ba? So, anong bago doon na gusto mong i-share? Kasi marami ng leadership studies, for example. Ano ba ang bago doon sa gagawin mo or sa i-share mo na tatangkilikin ng mga readers? Not only of the scientists, not only of the academician, not only of the leaders, but also of the ordinary people. Okay? So, in writing, basically, we begin the research process, or in the research per se, or in the research as a whole. We begin the research process with the end result in your mind. Of course, we cannot set the exact end result, but the direction of that result. No? So, if we know what we intend to find out, not necessarily specific of what you're going to find out, then it will be easier for us to plot the entire story. Ano mong gusto kong ipakita? Okay? So for example, bakit hindi tayo maka-graduate sa pagiging pulubi? Or let's say not pulubi. Pagiging ano ba yung mas subtle na term? Pagiging pobre. Na, for example, Philippines is still a third world. Okay, and they say that there are many factors why we are not as rich as America or Australia or Singapore at that. No? Kung titingnan natin si Singapore at and Philippines several decades ago, medyo the same lang siya eh. But look at how Singapore has evolved in short of half a century. Ganun na sila. And while we are still in this status, ano ba yung meron sila at wala tayo? So example, parang ganun. But of course, it's a very broad topic, but we cannot cover it in an article. Kasi nga si article, 10 pages lang siya, limited. Tingnan mo kanina yung mga researches na pinakita ko. Naka-specific yung, or masyadong narrow yung coverage ng paper niya. Okay? It does not cover the world. Diba? Sometimes when we do research, nung nagsisimula pa lang ako at doon sa mga colleagues ko na nagsisimula pa lang din, it's very hard for them to formulate a research because in their mind, they would like to cover everything. Gusto nilang i-cover lahat sa isang research. So ang nangyayari, dahil masyadong malawak yung gusto niyang gawin, at the end of the day, the thesis or dissertation is masyadong malawak ang coverage na pagbasahin mo parang nakakapagod siya. No? What is beauty in a research article published in a journal is because you just take a portion of it and share it, discuss it exhaustively. That makes the reader more interested into it than reading a book of a paper or of a dissertation. Diba? Dr. Labrage shared last time, sabi niya sa isang dissertation niya, nakapublish siya ng 5. Okay? Or it could be even more. No? So that means in our thesis or in our dissertation, usually you would have a lot of information in there that we can segregate and then come up with different stories. Depende yon sa kung ano yung gusto mong ipalabas, and you have the data there. Okay? So if you have already data available, the thing is we are just going to look what are beautiful in this data. Okay? And what can I share? Okay? On the other hand, kung magsisimula ka pa lang ng isang research, maganda din yun, klaro ang destination ng gagawin mo. Ano ba yung story ang gagawin ko? So from there, if you know the end result, then makukuha mo kung ano yung kailangan kong information para ma-answer ko yung tanong na yon. Okay? Basically the problem statement. Diba? So doon umiikot yung research natin. What is the problem that you like to discover? Make sure that the problem is novel. Wala pa, hindi pa nasagot. Okay? Kasi kung nasagot na yun, likely you'll just be part of the citation, pero it is not going to impact anything at all. Okay? So, tingnan natin kung paano konektado yung mga parts ng isang research article. Okay? So, usually the end result means the likely take-home message. Na ano ba ang gusto mong i-share sa community, sa humanity, or sa field mo? Ano ba yung gusto mong idagdag? That may be the take-home message that you'd like to provide. Okay. So ito yung parts ng isang research report. Tapos paano sila connected from each other. Okay. So you have the topic. No? Sinishare mo yon. You try to present that in the introduction. So ganon ka-importante siya because it will now be answered at the end of your paper. Ano ba yung rason, inilalatag mo sa introduction, ano ba yung rason bakit mo ginagawa ito? Okay? So, kung ano yun naman yung nakalatag na sa introduction mo, pupunta lang ako sa hulian. Nasagot ba niya? Was he able to answer the issues, the problems that he has shared in the introduction part of the paper? Pag wala yung connection, then medyo may problema. Okay? But of course, as we go along, gagaling at gagaling tayo dyan. I don't think I'm good at it, but I have known that marami dun sa nasulat ko parang parang ang layo ng introduction ko doon sa gusto kong palabasin sa katapusan ng paper. So in that case, parang medyo may mismatch doon sa kwento. Okay? Natandaan, siguro kung i-connect natin doon sa movies, for example. Okay? So the plot ng istorya at then the conclusion ng istorya. Pag hindi siya nagmamatch, parang at the end of the day, parang di ka kontento sa napanood mo or nabasa mo. Okay? So topic, dapat mayroong connection yun doon sa implications na gagawin mo at the end. Si objectives, dapat nakaproduce ka ng conclusion. No? I mean, kung ano yung nasa objective mo, dapat nasagot ni conclusion yun. Okay? Sa theory, sa discussion, and the method and result. So there's connection there. So basically, on the topic and the objective are the reasons why you are doing the research. And the conclusion part will have to answer these problems that you have set or the problems that you have shared. So ano bang nilagay mo doon? Ano ba yung sagot mo sa hulian ng papel mo? Okay? So the introduction therefore must establish the strong reason why do you intend to answer, and then the conclusion must answer the problem presented in the introduction. Okay? So gawa tayo ng example here. Okay? So paano natin gagawin yon? So you start with the take-home message. With the end result in mind. Para makagawa tayo ng kwento, we need to understand ano ba yung take-home message natin. So choosing a message to play around with or to work with. At least an initial message of your paper. Of course, the initial take-home message na i-draft natin, posible siyang magbago. No? Okay, depende yun sa data na mayroon ka. Pero the point there is that itong area na ito, yung gusto kong pagtuunan ng pansin. Okay? And then from there, you will just be revising your paper until such time that the entire paper is a very good story. Okay. So, ano ba yung take-home message? Okay, it's a single most important piece of information from your paper. Single most important piece of information from your paper. Okay? So ano bang maganda doon? Huwag masyadong maraming focus yung paper kasi nga mawawala si researcher and sa reader, and on the other part baka kumapal yung research paper mo kasi sa sobrang daming gusto mong i-cover. Okay? Then it's also a brief answer to your research question. Hindi mo sagot ng objectives mo or statement of the problem. Okay? It is usually presented in the abstract and discussion portion of the paper. Helps the reviewers to quickly grasp the results of your study and how they pertain to the larger question in the field. So parang if we are going to put it in the abstract, yung take-home message mo, then mas makaka-encourage siya para basahin siya. Okay, so example, let's say, this is a study or this is a research that I was very interested in, no? Primarily because na connect niya yung mga maraming question ko. Why is it that today the Philippines still lacking in terms of competence on the area of innovation? Though nag-improve na tayo ng several steps, pero this paper tells us why. Okay, this paper tells us why and tells us also why we are not competing that much with the world. Okay, so yung study ni Amanda Goodall. Okay, Socrates in the boardroom. Why research universities should be led by top scholars. Yung take-home message niya, nasabi niya, world-class scholars, not administrators, make the best leaders of research universities. Okay, yun yung gusto niyang i-share, no? And yung ginamit niyang what he has used, what data he has used are ranking, world university ranking information, no, of the first or of the best universities of the world, and then look into the heads of these universities. And she has concluded that those universities that were led by top scholars, yung mga researchers na nag-lead ng mga university, mas mabilis na umangat yung reputation niya sa World University Ranking, which is because yung World University Ranking naka-anchor siya, no? It's anchored to research performance of the teachers or the professors in the university, and the productivity or the research productivity of the university in general. So sabi niya, if the leader is a scholar, he or she would know how important his research is, and therefore their policies, their programs will always be biased to that. And in that case, nagiging mas magaling yung teachers nila or yung professors nila or yung empleyado nila doon. So in short, parang the leader should know the business of the organization. No? Parang ganun siya. Okay. Another take-home message, for example here, a study. It's just a simple study conducted by a student. No? And then improve by additional information. So yung take-home message na lang niya is, mastery of topic can never be attained in the spiral curriculum in the current student promotional practices. Okay? So kahit anong methodology ang gamitin natin, no? In instruction, kahit anong design, pag yung the manner how we promote students will not change, it's not going to change anything. Ano? Mag-continue lang yung problema niya. Another, this one is a very simple research na kinanda. It's just a literature review, looking into articles ng maraming articles about senior high school. Pinag-compare lang niya si USA, si Japan, at saka si Philippines. Okay? So, yung question, bakit si Pilipinas, yung pinagkumpihan niya ng kanyang K-12, okay, ay more of the US than Japan. When in fact, Japan outperformed US in math, science, and reading. That's the area na medyo mababa tayo sa performance. Bakit si US at hindi si Japan yung pinagkopyahan natin ng design, something like that. Okay. This is a very simple research, pero if you're going to look into ResearchGate, lumalabas na isa siya sa pinaka widely read na article. To date, around 236,287 na yung nagbasa sa kanya. However, ito naman yung catch. Kahit ganun karami yung nag-download sa kanya, nagbasa sa kanya, yung citation niya 20 lang. No? It's still the most cited na paper sa profile ni even myself as Sarmiento. Siguro ang isang rason niyan is yung sinabi kanina, the researcher, no? The qualification of the researcher presenting it. Okay? Kasi pag sinulat yan ng isang kilalang educator, baka iba yung lalabasan niya. Baka ang daming citation siguro niyan. Okay? Pero lumabas, marami pa rin siya for a neophyte researcher like myself, for example. Marami pa rin siyang nag-cite. Okay? And from Scopus ISI journals as well. Pero hindi siya ganun karami versus doon sa nagbasa sa kanya. Ibig sabihin lang yan is that hindi siya ganun ka acknowledge na paper. Popular siya, siguro popular siya because of the the common theme, being in senior high school, no, common siya. Pero hindi siya nakakuha ng ganung karaming citation kahit common siyang topic. Primarily because siguro doon sa quality ng author. Sino ba si Sarmiento? Sino ba si Orali dyan? Ano ba yung field niya? So you're talking about senior high school and it's not your field, something like that. Okay. So this one is the most cited paper of Dr. Labragi. Okay. With 141 citation. I think this is one of the first researches na ginawa ni Dr. Labragi. Okay, yung research niya is stressor and stress responses of student nurses in a government nursing school. Okay, yung take-home message na here is, stress is very common in nursing education and it may have an impact on the psychosocial health of students which needs intervention. Okay, so kung titingnan natin, which is similar to the popular researches kanina, okay, yung team niya, naka-connect siya masyado doon sa social aspect of or the socio-economic condition of or socio-economic well-being of people. Okay? So, kung gusto mong maraming magbasa sa paper mo, mag-focus ka dun sa area na yon. Kung gusto mo naman makakuha ka rin ng citation, then you have to publish it in journal na medyo kilala. Okay? And best, I think Dr. Labragi can share to you how to get cited. No? Perhaps we are going to come up with a separate seminar or webinar to share tips on how we can improve our scientific profile. And we have people like Dr. Labragi who can share us based on their experience. Okay. So, yung webinar natin ngayon was designed para doon sa mga gagawa pa lang or para doon sa medyo wala pang masyadong experience. Nakapublish na or na-reject na. I've been rejected many times. I think more than Leodoro has told you, na experience niya. I think I have so many rejection. Rejected ako sa starting step pa lang eh. No? I'm not very good in communication. I will admit that I'm not good. Hindi na very good. I'm not good in English. Medyo mahina or hindi ganun kagandahan yung grammar, and sometimes even spelling nagkakamali pa rin. No? So but the point, sabi nga ni Dr. Labragi kanina, just write and then you will have to improve yourself, and there are tools also to help you that, and there are also experts who can help you on that. So wag mag-alala when you try to write your first draft, kahit hindi siya ganun kaganda yung English doon, how the syntax, the grammar and everything, and we will work for that as we go on. Okay, so ano ba yung meron tayo ngayon? Okay, what data do you have? Okay, ano yung pwede nating ma-extract from it? Okay? And then from those information na mayroon kayo, what specific story can we write? Okay? Tingnan natin yung findings. What did you say about your data? What conclusions have you formulated? I hope may dala kayo or may katabi kayong thesis or dissertation diyan, or mayroong kayong tawag nito, data available dyan, because our next activity will be looking into your thesis or dissertation, and then based on yung thesis and dissertation nyo, can you come up with a take-home message? Yung one-liner message, for example, ano ba yung meron doon sa data nyo ano ba yung mayroon doon sa thesis or dissertation mo? Anong bago doon? Okay, kung doon sa conclusion mo parang walang bago, because I've read so many thesis and dissertation, tapos yung mga na-share nila doon parang the same pa rin. No? Parang ganun pa rin. Pabalik-balik pa rin yung mga information na nandoon at the way the paper are concluded, pero pareho pa rin siya. Okay? So kindly look into the data of your research or your thesis or your dissertation and then come up with at least one. Kung marami, you're right. Hiwa-hiwalayin mo lang. No? Ano ba yung take-home message or ano ba yung importanteng mensahe doon sa thesis or dissertation mo? Okay? Kung tatanungin ka, anong mayroon dyan sa libro mo? Okay? Kindly share it. Okay? Use menti.com with code 334676. Okay? Siguro mga 5 minutes ibibigay ko. Okay? Sige.
You may now type your responses via www.menti.com and use the code given by our speaker 334676. Thank you. You may now type your responses via www.menti.com.
Okay. Siguro we'll now look into the responses and then some points to take on based on the submitted take-home messages. Okay. So we say again. I'm going to go back to the definition of a take-home message. What? Hello. Okay. Nag ano kasi mayroon yung YouTube nasa lapit ko, I mean, nag-echo. Akala ko sino yung kausap ko. Anyway, let's go into the every responses that are posted here, and then let's try to repolish the message being shared. Okay, the first one who posted: are there any significant difference between the control group and experimental group on the following dimension of the 21st century skill: information literacy and media literacy, and technology literacy, I think. No? Okay. So masyadong marami siyang gustong i-share. Okay? But the question is, there significant difference? Parang bakit kailangan nating i-determine yung significant difference? Parang hindi yun ang take home message. No? Parang result siya. No? Pero from the result, ano ba yung makukuha nating simple information or simple message para ma-share ko sa iba? So what? Parang ang tanong, so what kung may significant difference between control group and experimental group? Ano ba yun? Diba? So baka gusto mong baka yung gusto mo lang ma-share is merong pagkakaiba. There are significant differences between control group and experimental group on the following. Parang hindi ko siya ma-capture, bakit kailangan ko siyang paglabanin yung control experimental group. Information literacy, media literacy. Ano ba yung nandoon sa 21st century skill? Yung information literacy. Bakit importante yun? Ano nandoon sa information literacy or media literacy or technology literacy? Doon tayo sa information literacy. Paano siya makaka-epekto sa akin, for example? Okay? Sa 21st century skill. Sino ba to? Sino ba tong mga kino-compare natin, mga estudyante? So what kung mahina yung information literacy ko? Ano bang mawawala sa akin? No? So pwede ka humanap doon ng information. Baka mababa yung information literacy ko. Kaya ang dali kong mauto, no? Kaya ang dali mauto ng kabataan ngayon, may mag-post lang ng ganito, papaniwalaan ka agad. Something like that, no? Mahina yung I don't know if that is the meaning of information literacy. Mahina yung critical assessment capability ng bata para malaman ano yung totoo at anong hindi, or paano ko siya i-qualify ang isang information to be true or not, something like that, or authoritative na ba itong information na to or hindi. Siguro pwede ka maglaro dyan, no? So sa information literacy lang, baka marami ka nang makuhang tawag nito, baka maka-attract ka na dyan. No? Sa media literacy, ganun din. Or if you can combine all of them, then there are more than just one information that you'd like to share. Ano ba yung importansya ng information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy? Ano ba yung connectivity ng tatlo, no? That will affect the socio-economic or socio-cultural condition ng community. So mayroon kang ganung klaseng pag-connect doon sa information. Okay? Para maging relevant siya sa community. Di ba kanina yung mga popular na mga article, kasi konektado siya doon sa ano bang kailangan ng community, ano bang relevance, ano bang recency ng information. Okay. Several students lack the most essential soft skills required by the work immersion partner institution. So, several students lack the most essential soft skills required. So, parang si estudyante as a graduate, immersion, ibig sabihin OJT, parang something like that. So, if you're going to share that, ano ba yung importansya ng soft skill para sa immersion? Bakit kailangan ni industry ng kanong soft skill, no? So okay yung message na na yung mga estudyante kulang ng soft skills na kailangan sa trabaho. Okay? Pero pwede ka mag-focus anong klaseng soft skill yun. Okay? Para mas maintindihan siya. No? Hindi marunong makikapwa tao, ano? Or masama yung ugali or something like that. No? So you could have you can be more clear on that area. Okay? Siguro sa introduction or sa documentation nung gusto mong ipalagay, maybe you can emphasize that there. Pero that is a good message na students, I want ko, the several, mas maganda siya kung sasabihin natin majority, okay? Or there is a third, something like that. Kasi si several parang, ano yon, 2, 3, 10, or better kung sabihin natin majority, klaro siya na hati, na mas clear yung message doon. Okay, kasi in reality naman talaga, mayroong bata na wala niyan, mayroong hindi. So your several students na statement parang baka isa lang yan sa 100, or 2 lang yan, or 3 lang yan kasi several. 3 lang yan sa 100. So parang 3%, parang mababa yon. Pero pag sinabi mong 1/3 of the students lack essential soft skill, parang big thing na yon. Eh mas malala kung masabihin na more than majority ay walang soft skill. So critical yon sa educational sector. So depende pa rin yung kung ano yung takbo ng story mo. Maraming mahina yung soft skill dahil si school hindi siya wala siyang program para doon, or mahina yung soft skill kasi si community are not helping build the soft skill, something like that. Kasi baka hindi ma-develop si soft skill sa office o sa school, baka ma-develop si soft skill sa community. So again, masyado siyang broad yung statement. Saan mo i-connect? Sa community, sa family, or sa school. Okay? So these are areas of consideration doon sa presentation mo. Okay. So the needed mathematical concept and skills, paano kaya ito? Para siguro maging magaling sa computer science and information technology, anong kailangan kong mathematical concept and skill? I think it's already klaro naman siya kung anong kailangan ng BSCS and BSIT. Given na yon na dapat mayroon silang mathematical and mathematical skills para maka-apply ng maganda doon sa BSCS and BSIT courses. Siguro mas maganda is bakit wala sila noon? Kasi requirement yun eh. Okay? There are already a number of literature na nagsasabi na ito yung mga competencies para sa kursong ito. Kasi nga in the first place, kaya na-offer yung kurso na yon, tapos yung design ng kurso na yon, ganito. Okay? So, nandoon na yan eh. So, siguro mas maganda is bakit wala sila nung mathematical skill na noon? Bakit nakaka-graduate sila sa BSCS na wala sila ng ganun? Okay? Or perhaps kung ganito lang yung mathematical skill nila, what kind of computer science and information technology graduate yung na-produce? Okay? Mayroon akong na-discover, mayroon akong comparison na nakita. One time, I attended a conference and then I attended a session. May 2 information technology professional na nandun. Yung isa is from Philippines, hindi ko na lang sasabihin kung anong school, at yung isa naman is from Korea. Tapos nag-present sila ng kanilang project doon sa conference na yon. And then mantakin mo, tingnan mo yung diferensya ng i-present ni Filipino IT professional and doon sa graduate student na Koreano. Naku, ang layo. No? So, given na yung anong kailangang mathematical and scientific competence para sa mga kursong to. Pero bakit ang layo ng quality ng performance nung IT professional sa atin at doon sa Korea. Of course, I'm just talking about the two, no? I'm not talking about the entire IT people, but I'm trying to compare bakit nagkaganon, no? Siguro marami pa rin naman. Baka mayroon din silang hindi ganoon kagaling, hindi nagpunta dito sa Pilipinas kasi nga magasto at yung pinapunta lang dito yung pinakamagaling nila. Samantala, because the conference was held in the Philippines, so anybody can present kahit hindi ganun kagaling, nakapasok, nakapresent. So siguro baka timing lang yun, ano? Parang ganun. Of course, dalawa lang yung comparison ko, hindi naman karamihan. No? So it might be like that. So I'm not saying that ganun lahat, okay? I'm just telling you na establish na yung need, establish na yung mathematical competence in that area. Okay? And so on and so forth. Medyo dumami na yung responses at humaba yung explanation. Pero the point there is dapat klaro, no? Yung gusto kong i-share, dapat klaro yung information na gusto mo i-share. Perhaps later on, ano, as you write down your paper, mas magiging focused yung type of information na gusto mo i-share. Okay? So aging population 60 and above is very low mobility. Okay? So maybe you can document, localize, yeah, no? Because in some regions mayroon naman showing na marami talaga sa mga old age hindi gumagalaw, hindi masyadong mobile, ano? So siguro pwede natin i-localize. Very low mobility saan 'yon? Okay? Kasi given naman 'yon na known na yon na dapat as you old, dapat na-maintain pa rin yung movement mo, parang exercise ka pa rin. There are a lot of literature telling us about that. Pero yung hindi natin alam, for example, sa Catbalogan, yung mga matatanda ba dito sa Catbalogan, Samar, or sa Tacloban City, or sa Cebu City, for example, gumagalaw ba sila? Or nasa bahay lang sila? Nanonood lang palagi ng TV? So it's more of the local data about the behavior of these people, no, group of people. So mas interesting yon kaysa answering na hindi low mobility tapos quality and life. Kasi established na yon eh. May mga information na yon, may mga data na yon na pag si retiree, for example, are still mobile, happy sila. They can move and so on and so forth. Given na yon, walang bago doon. Ang bago is sa community mo. Ano bang ginagawa ng mga 60 years old and above? No? So yun, kulang yun ng information. Sa karamihan ng mga ganitong mga common na mga topic, yung kulang actually is the localized data. I-share mo siya. Anong nangyayari sa community mo? Okay? Not answering the entire low mobility program and that will improve general well-being, given na siya eh. Ang wala is ano bang nangyayari sa community mo. Okay? So sometimes na nakakalimutan natin 'yon. Okay? Following protocols and conduct of educational trips. Okay? Ano bang specific diyan? Safety should never be compromised. Given 'yon, no? Given 'yon na pag sumama si bata sa isang field trip, responsibility 'yon ng organizing group na hindi i-compromise yung safety. So walang bago doon. So anong specific na information na gusto mo? Sasabihin natin, siguro yung gusto mong, pwede mong ipalabas na mensahe, universities are very careful enough in caring their students undergoing field trip. So kaya hindi kailangan yung masyadong rigorous na requirement sa field trip, no? Kasi I don't know if I'm correct, no? Minsan may sabi na kahit yung masteral at doctoral kailangan pa ng permission to do a field trip. Of course, it's just a joke, ano? But the point there is siguro yung mas importanteng information, ang mga universities ba pag nag-field trip, reckless ba sila? Pabaya ba sila or hindi? Okay? So, because this is a crucial responsibility ng university to take care of their students undergoing field trip. So mas importante yung area na yon. Okay? Kasi yung safety should never be compromised. Tama yun. Kahit anong aspeto yun, dapat hindi talaga siya ma-compromise. Yung unknown sa atin is, sa 1,000 na nag-field trip, may na-disgrasyang isa, kailangan nating pa-stopin yung 999 na field trip. Is something wrong. Okay? Sa airline, ganun din yun. 100 na eroplano, may nalaglag na isa. Hindi naman lahat ng eroplanong kagaya nun ay i-grounded mo. No? It is just kung ano yung model ng eroplano, yun lang din ang naka-grounded, hindi lahat or something like that. So there is a protocol on that. So pwede din i-observe natin ano bang nangyari dahil doon sa mga nagdidisgrasya sa field trip. Yung karamihan ng mga university hindi na nagpe-field trip. So ano ba yung mawawala if the university will let go of the educational trip because the requirement for travel is very stringent. So mas importante yung area na yon. Okay. Okay, later na siguro to. Okay, tells us that higher decrease in the number of wasted and severely wasted students. I don't know what does this mean. Higher decrease in the number of severely wasted and wasted student. Di ko siya mag-get. Anong message doon? Ano ba yung gusto mong sabihin sa amin about that? Okay? The most important message, okay, several student lack soft skill, parang kanina. Okay? Gain native-like American accent. Ay, wala akong pag-asa dyan. No? And it's true, mayroon yun. Pero ang tanong, bakit? Interesting yun. Of course, there are some na nakaka-develop noon, pero majority or most, maybe not. The question na lang doon is, bakit hindi? Mayroon bang pwedeng gawin para ma-develop namin yun? That makes it more interesting. Okay? Program compliance to international standard. Okay, you look into the international standard and how we are doing it. Tapos makikita mo yung defect, yung problem, and what can we do about it. Okay? Kanina yung story ni Goodall about who should lead the universities, no? Is an example of that. Kasi dapat aware ka kung ano yung world-class university para yung programs mo pang world-class. Hindi lang sa salita, kundi sa gawa. At makikita natin doon na napaka-difficult ng challenge na yon. Kasi yung maaapektuhan ay human resource. And developing the human resource is very difficult, no? And it will take time. Okay? And not necessarily difficult, but will take time. Very difficult kasi we have been used to it, no? Na hindi tayo nagpa-follow. Okay? At pag mayroong ini-introduce na bagong policy, it's very hard for us to comply. Okay? Mahirap pakiusapan. No? So, maraming aspeto 'yan. If you are going to evaluate every item of how to become international, okay? And how to build that reputation para tayo maging compliance to international standard, then makikita mo ang daming kailangan gawin. Pero the beauty there is, once you have looked into it, you will be able to identify what are the things that you are going to address. Okay, so yung storya, siguro i-limit mo anong aspeto ng international standard yung gusto mong atakihin. Okay? Kasi masyadong marami. Okay? Mahihirapan kang bigyan ng kasagutan lahat. Okay? About advantage of joining fraternity among students. Okay, it's just informing what is the benefit and disadvantage. Pero mas maganda kung ano yung of course makukuha mo yun after you have already done your study. Okay yung initial question mo na ganon para at the end yung direction mo yung gagawin mo. Pero the take home message, ano ba yung information na nakuha mo doon? So if this is a study already na nakandak, anong sinasabi sa data mo? Maganda ba or hindi? Yun ang take-home message mo. Okay? So kung i-weigh in mo between advantage and disadvantage, ano ba yung mas maganda? Then yun yung message mo. Okay? It depends kung magiging bias ka doon sa positive and negative, especially if the positive and negative cannot be quantified, qualitative yung descriptor niya, mahirap yon, pumili ka. Pero if you can quantify it, if you can transform it into real numbers, then mas madali kang makakagawa ng conclusion or mas madali kang gagawa ng message mo doon. Okay? Sequential explanatory mixed method study that primarily deals with internationalization practices as well as the critical issues the administrator respondents encounter. Okay, so it's more of isinama mo na yung methodology mo doon sa message mo. So kung ako yung magbabasa, ano yung sequential explanatory mixed method na yan? Of course, for the writers, they would understand that. But for the common tao, ano yun? Anong ibig sabihin niya? Okay? Sometimes when we craft our take-home message, we do away with the technical aspect of it because our intention is to share what is the most important information in the paper. Perhaps doon sa methodology madidiscuss mo yon. Pero sa gusto mong sabihin mo yun ng napakasimple para mas makuha nila yung para mas madali nilang maintindihan anong gusto mong sabihin. Okay? When you think you're at the end of something, you're the beginning of something else. That's what retired rehired is all about. Okay, perhaps experiences of retired teachers or retired professionals, and why they go back. Okay, so the struggle, ano ba yung problem doon sa struggle na yon? Gusto nilang maging active pa rin, or ang tawag nila doon, withdrawal syndrome or withdrawal effect or something like that, no? So mag-focus ka doon. Okay na yun siya, pero hindi pa rin siya, kung sasabihin mo yan sa akin, anong importante sa research mo, di ko pa rin siya makaka-capture kaagad. Okay? Pwede mong mas specific, ano ba yung gusto mong i-share diyan. But the retired and rehired is something that many of us do not know. These are real experiences na kailangan natin malaman para sa future, we would likely expect the same. Okay? In response to the call of academic excellence, it's argued as a function of several factors: admission, retention policy, continuous professional development. Masyadong marami din. Okay? These are you have a lot of factors. And if you're going to cover them all, mas mahirapan kang i-explain siya. Okay, the idea no sa article writing, as I know it, is i-limit mo yung mga topic discussions mo para mas madali siyang ma-capture ng tao. Okay? Pag maraming masyadong information doon, yung pwedeng mangyari kasi limited yung space ng writing mo, hindi mo siya ma-discuss exhaustively. On the other hand, kahit payagan na paramihin yung pages mo, yung reader mo naman, baka hindi na siya maging interesado kasi masyado siyang malawak yung coverage mo. Pandemic could revert the century global progress of developing economy. Paano ba ito? Again, this is just a direction. Pero pag sinabi nating message, parang mahirap pa rin siyang ma-capture anong global progress of developing economies. Masyado siyang malaki for an ordinary reader. Ano ba 'yun? Ano ba yung global progress? Ang hirap mahawakan noon, no, para sa ordinary reader. Okay? So hindi masyado siyang maintindihan kaagad. Okay? What are the challenges in enhancing the mathematical literacy of junior high school? The challenges, okay, paano ba yan? Can you identify the challenges? Sa take-home message mo, yung mensahe na mismo kagad. Ano ba yung challenge sa improving literacy? Is it the mass promotion resulting into difficulties in improving mathematical literacy? Klaro siya, no? The cause of the difficulty in improving mathematical literacy. Okay? And then, repetition and memorization coupled with positive disposition lead to successful problem-solving activity. Repetition, memorization, is it not part of, is it not established fact na pag inulit-ulit mo siya, magiging magaling ka sa isang bagay? Okay? Successful problem-solving activities. What kind of problem-solving activities? Theoretical problem or actual problem? Okay? Diba sa outcome-based, medyo iba na yon, no? We are not teaching them on these things, but on a real application of the ideas, no? To actual condition. I mean, application of ideas to actual conditions. How does implication differ from conclusion? Medyo technical siya. I have read a lot of thesis and dissertation, and I find it even difficult to explain as well how do they understand conclusion and implication. Okay? Kasi yung nababasa ko sa mga libro, si conclusion ay parang result pa rin. Okay? I don't know if it is a problem of description sa mga institution. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ko ng conclusion? Ano ba yung pagkakaiba ni result as result, discussion, conclusion, and implication? So parang the gray area there dapat ma-clarify. In my case, si conclusion is parang generalization doon sa findings. Parang mamaya mayroon akong structure doon. Paano parang nag-start tayo sa broad, sa introduction, tapos the hourglass concept in writing research. At the end of the research, lalawak siya. You are trying to generalize a scenario, okay, explaining the broader message of your research after you have presented a specific. Mayroong iba dito. How to make an implication? Okay, parang baka hindi ako makasagot ng magaling dito, no? But we'll see. We'll check later. May example dito. The rates of their other communicable diseases in comparison to the rates cases in specific area. Okay? Parang magdi-describe ka lang kung gaano kaganda dito, gaano ka pangit dito in terms of the COVID-19. Pero kung ganun lang, okay din yun na information, pero anong gusto mong ihatid na istorya? Magaling dito mag-manage compare dito sa isa? Is it because of the strategy, or is it because of location? What factors lead to this and that? Mas importante 'yon. Okay? So kung i-compare lang natin, parang mayroon na 'yon sa John Housekeeping, ano ba 'yun? Yung website na nagpapakita ng mga cases all over the world. Nandun na 'yun nandun na yung mga rates. Kung yun lang, wala na masyado kasi pre-present mo lang yung cases. Yung importante, anong rason doon? Anong istorya doon? The message. Anong ibig sabihin nun? For example, si Philippines, meron siyang 20,000 plus And then we are saying na si Philippines is inutil, hindi kaya i-manage yung kaso, we are doing it bad, etc. If we're going to look into the rest of the world, you have millions of cases, hundreds of thousands of cases. So parang doon, mag-play around ka doon sa istorya, bakit siya magaling o bakit siya maliit, bakit doon malaki, but we are telling the government that they are not doing well. Right? So parang doon sa area na yon para mas ma-clarify kung yung perception na yon ay tama or hindi. Okay. Earthworm, best growth for performance of broiler chicken. Okay. That's simple information, that's simple message. So ibig sabihin papakainin ko siya ng na may composition na ganito, lalaki siya. Okay? So that's something good. Pero dapat doon sa presentation, is it okay? Is it not going to cause me harm and so on and so forth? Okay? So okay yung information na yon, pero kailangan mayroon pang dagdag na safe yon. Hindi yun delikado or something. For people most affected by COVID-19. Okay. So bakit sila ang mas affected? The story behind it. Okay. Sige. We will rest that and proceed to the rest of the presentation. Parang kukulangin tayo ng oras, sobra na tayo. Okay. So, thank you for those participation, ang dami, ano? From those take-home message, gagawa tayo ng storya, the introduction. Kung ganun yung message na gagawin ko, paano ko ilalatag yung istorya? Okay? The purpose of writing your paper is para mabasa niya. Kasi kung nakabasa na kayo ng research paper na lukso ng lukso yung topic. Tapos ang isang introduction, ang haba ng section na puro pareho yung ibig sabihin. Bakit hindi ko siya pagsamahin? Kasi yung gusto niyang, ang ibig niyang sabihin is the same. I just combine them. Okay? Dapat yung sequencing niya is maganda para mas madali siyang maintindihan, mas gusto ko siyang basahin. Easier to read. Okay? So, it's analogous to world building. Provide perspective for your reader. Para doon sa introduction pa lang, alam ko na yung i-expect ko. Kasi doon sa introduction, inilalatag mo ano bang problema, ano bang gusto mong sabihin sa tao. Okay? A good movie has 5 plots. Diba? Gusto natin manood ng movie, may magagandang movie, may hindi magandang movie. A good movie has 5 plots. Beginning of the story, rising action, climax, falling action, resolution, and then the end of the story. So sa research, mayroon din ganun. Mayroon din siyang plot, especially sa introduction part. Okay, so you have introduction, introduce the relevant literature, explain why you study novel. Okay, take note. Dapat may bago. Huwag pa ulit-ulit. Kahit siya inulit na topic, dapat may something bago doon. Hindi man entirely discovery type, but there should be something that you have to share. Okay, so materials and method that introduce the study system, explain the method, and so on and so forth. And then you have the conclusions at the end. So if you're going to look into the structure, you have the broad, the opening statement is broad, and the resolution is also broad. Okay, so the hourglass concept. You start from a broad question. Ano ba yung, if I do study on this, ano ba yung pinakamalaking aspect ng socio-economic condition or socio-cultural condition na maapektuhan in the process? Okay? And then at the end of the day, i-generalize ko rin siya. Papalaparin ko yung discussion. Tapos ano yung makukuha ko doon. Okay, this is the hourglass concept. Telling story. No? Begin with a broad question, and then you narrow down until you operationalize it into a section, a specific area, from a broad perspective into a narrower focus. And that's this is where you set your objectives. Okay, then you generate data, you analyze the data, and then you reach the conclusion. Take a look at the description, the hourglass. Palaki siya. When you go to the conclusion part, you are actually generalizing what you have observed. Ano ba yung nakita ko doon sa data na yon? Anong ibig sabihin niya in the larger context? And you end there, no? So perhaps yun yung magiging implication. Ano ba yung pinaka-importante? Ano ba yung epekto noon? Ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng conclusion na yon? Pag sinabi ko bang mas tatagal ang buhay ng mga matatanda pag nag-exercise sila kahit maliit lang na exercise, then ang implication noon is give them things to do.
Excuse me,
Their lives
Dr.
will
Urale.
be ended.
Our participants are asking for your presentation because it's not seen in the screen. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no. Sayang. Okay, wait. Kasi hindi ko na end. Okay. So here. So as I've said, in a good story, you have 5 plots, beginning and the end. So if you're going to connect research and a movie plot, you would have also the opening, a broader perspective. Sometimes, for example, sa story ng Avengers, ano ba yung opening story niya? Di ba yung past? And then narrow to specific and then go on. And then you are given a question. Is it really the end? Or is this just another end to another end? No? So research ganun din. So this is the hourglass concept. You start with the broad question, then narrow down. So the center, this area here is your objectives na. Diba? From a broad perspective, parang kung gawin ko ito, ano yung epekto? Diba? For example, doon sa gudal na aspeto, na kwento. So what? Kung maganda yung university, anong paki ko doon? Kung number 1 yung university na yun, anong paki ko doon? Right? So the study is about how a university will become world class. Yung pinaka goal ng kwento, paano si university magiging world class? So yung area na yun dito sa operationalization. Okay? Pero in the larger scale, ano ba? So what kung world class yung university mo, anong benefit ko doon? So doon sa larger context na yon, if sa beginning, istorya mo na yung socio-economic condition ng mundo nakasalalay doon sa quality ng innovation, quality ng technology, quality ng information, quality ng services. And all this are product of a good educational system, right? So iyon ang bigger context mo, yung country magiging mas magaling siya kung yung human resource nila ay magagaling. Okay? Magagaling, mga innovative, gumagawa ng mga solution from simple things, nakakagawa sila ng mga solutions. So ang tanong, si human resource galing siya saan? Galing siya sa educational system. Okay? So ano ba yung magaling na educational system? Paano sila nakaka-produce ng magaling? Okay, so doon na papasok si magaling na university. So ano ba yung indicator ng magaling na university? Di ba? So nakita nyo, yung question lang natin is, sino ba yung anong klaseng leader ba ang magpapagaling ng isang university? Yung implication niya na gusto niyang ilagay or yung gusto niyang i-connect is, pag magaling si university, makaka-produce siya ng magaling na human resource. At pag magaling si human resource, makaka-produce siya ng community na magagaling. At the entire country will also be benefited by that. And the socio-economic condition of the community will be very good. Diba? So tingnan mo yung connection from the top going to down. So pag na-establish mo yung istorya na yon, okay, magkukollect na ako ng data. Ano ba ang kailangan kong gawin? Kasi sinabi mo na magaling na university ay dapat ganito yung klaseng mga leaders. Hindi lang yung si presidente yung kasama doon, ha? Pati yung mga alter ego, pati yung mga decision maker. Okay? So, when we say leaders of university, hindi lang yung si leader kasi boardroom yung kwento niya. So, ibig sabihin, yung core group ng organization dapat pare-pareho yung thinking. Okay? So anong klaseng data yung i-gather ko? Titingnan ko yung mga qualification nila doon sa qualification ng magaling. Diba? And so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, sasabihin natin, si Pilipinas, ganito yung mga leaders niya. Ganito yung qualifications niya as compared to the qualification na establish ng world-class university. So from there, kung ang resulta niya ay maganda, sasabihin natin, sooner or later we are going to be better than usual. Kasi yung profile ng mga leaders natin sa universities ay gumagaling, di ba? So that's something positive. Pero on the other hand, pag nakita natin, ano yung klaseng mga leaders nang nandun? Parang hindi siya compliance with international standard. So it's a dream scenario. So at the end, the implication there is baka mahirapan tayong mag-improve further yung ating country because we have this kind of leaders. That's your implication. And the recommendation is retooling na mag-comply tayo sa international standard. So there you have it, the story. No? So the connection. It's simple, from a broad to to specific, and then you analyze the data, and then you make conclusions, and then from the conclusion you come up with implications, and then how to address the problems that we have shared. Okay, so another view of a research paper, no, the same pa rin, hourglass pa rin siya, medyo different lang yung arrangement niya, pero the idea is still the same. You start with the broad thing, hindi mo kaagad i-representa yung problem mo na gusto mong i-collect. You start with the broader topic na gusto mong i-address. Pag nakuha mo ito, yung broader na aspect doon ay ma-address. Napansin ko yun sa conceptual framework natin. No? So may mga conceptual framework na gumagawa na at the end of the usual framework na ginagawa, at sa taas, mayroon doon usually sa taas or sa baba or wherever, depending on the orientation of the writer, usually nandun yung pinaka-end goal. It may be outside of the research, pero yung pinaka-end goal natin, bakit ginagawa natin yung research? Gusto nating mag-improve yung school natin, yung community natin. Pero hindi siya directly hindi siya directly ina-answer doon sa paper. Pero we hope that if we address some aspect of the problems that we have discovered, it will eventually lead to that status. No? So the broader picture, kumbaga. Okay. So wala na tayong masyadong oras. I'll just give you an example here. Okay? So may workshop dapat pero kulang tayo sa oras. I will just leave you here, so sa workshop supposedly from the plots or from the take-home message that we have discussed kanina, we proceed to the writing of the story. So broad perspective, why the need of study, and more specific. Okay, so the plot usually is written this way: what are the effect of the stories about Filipino time? Okay. So Filipino time remains to be one of our unpleasant characteristics or culture, or whatever is the right term for that. Who tend to be on time? Is it the teacher? Is it the religious? Is it the military? Okay. So I have cited there, for example, military kasi they are known to have that kind of discipline. If you have this time and so on and so forth. So gusto natin makita paano makukorek sa Filipino time. Can we correct the Filipino time by being religious or being even a teacher? Or can we correct the Filipino time by being disciplined like military is? Okay? Something like that. Okay? So paano nagiging on time or not on time ang isang tao, especially si Filipino? Yun ang ating general objective. So you have that kind of message. So paano natin gagawa ng storya yan? Okay? So maybe the plot would be, what are the effect? So what kung hindi tayo on time? Anong problema doon? Let's be proud of that. Okay? Pero if you're going to look at it, ano ba yung problema kung hindi tayo on time? That's a broader question. Okay? Ano bang mawawala kung hindi tayo on time? That's a broad question. Makakaapekto ba yan sa economy? Okay? Makakaapekto ba yan sa well-being ko? Okay? These are bigger questions. That's a broad question. Okay? Take note yung study natin about Filipino time. At paano nagkakaroon ng Filipino time? Saan mayroon, saan wala. Okay? Then, next plot siguro, ano bang countries na nagpa-practice ng on time or not on time? Gusto nating i-establish kasi ngayon, bakit gusto kong pag-aralan yan? Para ano? Anong epektong gusto kong masagot? Okay. Who values time? What type of person? Is time related to attitude, related to personal, or is it related to structure or policy? Nagiging on time ba ako dahil gusto kong mag-on time? Or nagiging on time ako kasi pinipilit ako ng superior ko in the military, for example. Sinabi ni superior, in 800 hours dapat nandito ka. So dapat nandito ka 800 hours. Or hindi, magpupush up ako. Diba? So it is a forced case or is it a natural case? So ang punto dyan is, if you would like to change Filipino time, then you need to enforce discipline. Kumbaga yun ang direction ng istorya mo, na hindi siya makukorek by just praying na makorek yun. Okay? Makukorek siya kung may mag-i-enforce to correct it. In the same manner as our policies today in the Philippines, marami tayong law pero hindi natin ni-implement sa law. So parang walang effect si law. Di ba? So pwede yung ganung istorya na yon, Stories about Filipino time effects. Ano bang nangyayari sa atin kung hindi tayo on time? Anong problema doon? Or are we living it? Are we proud of it? Or do we like it to be changed? So, i-connect na natin sa 5, why the need to stop the culture and how. So, doon natin titingnan ngayon, bakit si military on time? Depende yun, Depende yun sa data na makukuha natin. Baka hindi rin Okay? Bakit si military on time? Bakit si teacher hindi on time? Okay? So, or baka si teacher on time din kasi naka biometric. Pag na-late ako ng several times, matatanggal ako sa trabaho. Baka on time din siya. O ba sa simbahan? On time ba rin ba? O, mayroong on time, mayroong hindi. Gano'ng karami? Okay? So, titingnan natin yung kwento na yun. So, the plot will be like that. Okay? So, wala tayong masyadong oras, so hindi na natin kayang gawin yung workshop na to. Example itong another. Siguro, you can practice. Okay? Sa mga take-home message nyo, you can practice and drafting your storyline. Okay, example here, another. Wala na tayong oras. For the country to be competitive, its workforce need to be innovative. Okay? May mga literature tayong nagsasabi ng ganon. Yung ideal na scenario, kaya nga isang measure of competence ng isang country is gaano karami yung scientist niya. Gaano karami yung engineers niya. Engineer. Hindi lang sa pangalan, but true engineer. Engineers, scientists, technologists, researchers. Kinoconnect yung number ng ganitong klaseng professional sa quality ng country in terms of innovation. So engineers, scientists, technologists are known to be leaders in innovation process. Okay? So sila yung expected na magpropel ng technological advancement ng isang lugar. So kung marami sila at real engineers sila, real scientists sila, real technologists sila, then dapat maraming epekto. Pero ang reality ganito, there are few Filipino innovative products found in the market. Diba? Yung kung pupunta ka sa mga tindahan, karamihan na doon ay from China, Taiwan, no? And so on and so forth. Okay? Korea. So it suggests that the engineer scientists that we have, or maybe there are very few of them, or maybe there are, but they are not acting as one. Okay? It suggests that they are not living the expectation. Okay? Thus, the question is, are our HEIs producing the kind of professionals? Diba? Intriguing siya. Balikan natin yung mga magagandang, yung mga popular na research doon. Bakit sila naging popular? Kasi yung mga question na ipinopost nila ay mga sensitive question. No? Mga interesting question. So like there, are HEIs producing innovative workforce? Diba? Ang laking question no. Baka pagalitan tayo ni Ched pag lumabas na hindi mga innovative yung ginagraduate natin. Pero kung questionin din tayo, how are you going to measure innovativeness? Diba? So it's another story on the methodology. Istorya yan siguro sa inyo ng magtotalk on that area. Critical question yun eh. Baka paano mo measure yung innovativeness ng isang tao? Okay? These are examples of the outline that you're going to do. Start by writing the broad reason of the study. Innovation as the key to socio-economic development. Yun ang sinasabi kong broader perspective. Okay? How the Philippines ranks in terms of innovativeness. You are now slowly going into a more specific area. How the Philippines. So, ibig sabihin, you are going to compare it with the worldwide performance. Gaano si Philippines kagaling sa innovation versus the other countries. Okay? Then how the rank was determined, no? Paano i-determine paano natin i-measure yung innovativeness ng engineer. And present the number of engineers produced per year, compare it with other countries. Okay? Gaano karami yung engineers natin versus the engineers in other countries? So let's say Japan. Gaano karami yung engineers nila versus gaano karami yung engineers ni Philippines? Okay? Then, pag pareho lang silang number, di ba? Mayroon ka ng pinaplot doon na bakit ganoon? Pareho lang yung number ng engineers nila at engineers natin, pareho lang yung population natin, bakit mas magaling sila? Di ba? So that already is trying to share an idea that our professionals are not equivalent to them. For one reason or the other, is it my training, or is it my training as an engineer, or is it my workplace, or is it the support of the government? No? So how the engineers are produced. So nag-focus lang tayo doon sa process of producing engineers in the Philippines. Okay? So marami kasing facet yun eh, maraming area. Okay? And then you present the educational process. So ang target mo lang dito is how the engineers are produced in universities. Wala na doon yung how the engineers are being developed in the industry. Kasi iba din yon. Pwede yung segue na yon. Pero as I have said, pag ikinaber mo lahat ng yon, mahirapan ka sa istorya. Okay? So focus ka lang, sabihin natin sa school lang ako magpo-focus. Paano pinoproduce si engineer sa school? Okay? Then, the question there, are our school producing the right professional? So parang kinoconnect natin yung importanteng mensahe dito. Nagpo-produce ba tayo ng innovative na engineers? So there, you have now the story at i-connect ko na yon doon sa objective ng study. Diba? So from a broad story or question to a narrow question, and then that narrow scope will now be connected to the objective, to the hourglass. Okay, and then how you are going to write the results and how you're going to formulate the conclusion will be treated in in another session. Okay, so basically yung gusto kong i-emphasize lang dito is more on preparing your introduction and then plotting the entire story. So doon sa presentation din ng result, ganun din yung strategy doon. Okay, so you are going to present the result in a manner na madali siyang makakapture ng tao. Tingnan mo, from specific going now to broad generalization or broad description of the data that you present. Kung ano yung paggawa mo sa introduction going to the objective, ganun din yung paggawa mo dun sa istorya ng results, discussion, and then the conclusion and the implication. Okay? Ganun din yung challenge. Baliktad lang siya. Okay? From broad to specific, specific to broad. Parang ganun siya. Okay. So, I challenge you doon sa mga papers nyo, try to look again into the data and then develop your take-home message, reformulate your take-home message into a simple result or in a simpler result na madali siyang ma-consume ng reader, and then you play with your data, not play with your data, but play with your storyline. Kung ano yung data mo ngayon, nandyan na yan eh. You have the research data already. Nandyan na yan. So I think your research and your thesis and dissertation, if hindi siya ganon ka-structured yung pagkagawa, you need to look back again into the data. Ano yung importante doon? Tapos yung pinaka-importante doon na data, gawan mo na siya ng istorya. Pabaliktad na siya eh. Kasi the study is already there. You're just going to transfer your thesis, your dissertation, your data, anything data that you have, into a research article. So if it's a dissertation, you can come up with up to 4 to 5 story. If it's a thesis, maybe even 2, you can do that, and so on and so forth. It depends on how creative you are in writing. I think that's it. Nasubrahan tayo ng oras and it's 4:40 already. Okay. It's I'm ready to receive question if there's still question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Urale. Well, we are now going to entertain questions from our participants. So may I request our participants, you can now key in or type your questions in our chat box, and we are going to read that. We are just going to entertain 2 questions, and the other queries that you will be sending will be just answered through email. So right now, we are waiting for our participants. And by the way, thank you so much to our speaker for this afternoon, the Vice President for Research and Extension Services, Dr. Ronald Orale, for that very comprehensive talk. Anybody who would like to ask questions, you can now type your questions in our chat box. While you are trying to type your questions, I will just be reading some of the comments here. It says here that paper rejection is the greatest aphrodisiac, according to Dr. Leo Labraga. Painful at first, but it can be your biggest motivator to improve your paper. Indeed. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so questions, please. Time check. It is already 4:42 in the afternoon, and we will still be having 4 more sessions next week and on the next week. Okay, so we have now a question from one of our participants. So I will be reading your question. Mr. Jonas Fabiliar. Dr. Raleigh, here is his question. Sir, what is more important, the confidence of the researcher in his study or the content or data from the study? Sir?
For me, the most important is the data, because even if the write up is not very good, in the first place you are going to rewrite it. Okay, if you have a very good data, then with a good mentor and with a good advisor perhaps or writer, no, it can be possible through that we can come up with a very good story. Okay, I have been handling several. I've been handling a subject on independent study And the data that they have produced is quite okay, but the manner of presenting, as I have said, it's for neophyte, it's really difficult to write a very good story, a research story. What is important is the data, and then from there you can revise everything. Okay, but of course the biggest challenge there is you have produced the data. The data that has been produced should have followed a certain protocol to make it reliable or acceptable. Okay, so yung importante is may sinunod kang protocol. Okay, standard and acceptable protocol. Kahit hindi maganda the manner of presenting it, kasi nakita ko yun, maraming researches, maraming thesis dissertation, ang gaganda ng data. Pero the way it was presented, yun yung may problema. No, kasi nga nag paulit-ulit yung presentation, nawawala yung mga importante doon sa data. So doon nagkakaproblema, no? So parang sa sobrang daming data, hindi na alam ni researcher kung ano yung i-emphasize niya. Yun ang problema ng masyadong maraming data. Ano ba dito yung i-emphasize ko? Sobrang dami. No? So sa sobrang daming gustong i-share, parang at the end of the day, na-overwhelm ka na, hindi mo na ma-summarize yung ibig mong sabihin. Okay? So sa journal writing, yun ang maganda kasi nga marami kang data, pwede mong hiwa-hiwalayin yun at then gumawa ka ng iba-ibang storya. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Urale. Any other questions? Well, this is the best platform to ask your questions about the topic, a take-home message. Okay, so any other questions that you would like to raise? Well, waiting for, okay, so I guess there are no other questions. Others already expressing their thank you to Dr. Urales. So once again, thank you to our speaker for this afternoon, Dr. Ronald L. Orale, Vice President for Research and Extension Services. Thank you so much, sir. And right now, we will be sending the link for the evaluation form. And we request everyone to please fill that out this day, anytime this day. Okay, so I would like to inform you also that we will be having the next session on Monday. That is on June 2020, 2 to 4 p.m. And our topic on Monday will be on writing a research introduction into objectives. So we request everyone to please attend the sessions that will follow. And also, this is a reminder to all of you that we will be giving certificates to all our participants. And on the certificate, we will be including there the number of times you have attended in our webinar series. So Dr. Lakaba already sent the evaluation form. And also, we ask you to please share this to your colleagues so they will be able to attend also the webinar sessions. And for the Monday session, the speaker is requesting all our participants to please prepare your introduction and objectives of your research papers because you will be using that. So kindly open the file on Monday and prepare them. So you could view this on webinar on our Facebook page, CDRJ, and the official Facebook page of Summer State University. Also, this is also recorded in our YouTube account, Summer State University. Kindly subscribe and click the notification bell. And we also would like to inform our participants that aside from the CD, RJ, and the JAR, we also have our two new journals. The Philippine Journal of Technology and Innovation, or the PJTI, which includes progress reports and utility models packaged as scientific articles. We also have the Journal of Summer Studies, or SJRS. This includes all research papers about the summer islands and its people, their experiences, and three disciplines are covered here: sociocultural context, technology and economics, endemic resources. All right, so that's it for our second session of the 7 sessions for this webinar series. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you on Monday.
From our humble beginnings, we began to shine.
Taking little footsteps, we began to
Near or
climb.
far, we have reached across summer.
From Balogan, Mercedes, Bananas and Basay. From our halls, we walk their aisles.
Achievements and awards now we prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University.
Summer State University.
So come on to Summer State University. From our humble beginnings, we began to shine.
Taking little footsteps, we began to
Near or
climb.
far, we have reached across summer.
From Balogan, Mercedes, Bananas and Basay. From our halls, we walk their aisles.
Achievements and awards now we prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University, soaring high with excellence. Seat of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University.
Summer State University.
So come on to Summer State University. From our humble beginnings, we began to shine.
Taking little footsteps, we began to
Near or
climb.
far, we have reached across summer.
From Balogan, Mercedes, Bananas and Basay. From our halls, we walk their aisles.
Achievements and awards now we prize. Join us and we'll show you the greatness of SSU. Summer State University. University, soaring high with excellence. City of innovation, we'll build and serve the nation. Summer State University, it's the best for you and me. Your future and dreams come alive. So come on to Summer State University.